Okay. Sorry, we're just playing that on the intro there instead of playing my traditional intro. Doesn't seem appropriate. Oh, of course, we get an ad here now. Lovely. Anyway, got to throw them ads in. Anyway, welcome, ladies and or gentlemen. So yes, just playing a little bit of that right off the top. We saw this. You've seen this 100,000 times at this point. So not really not really anything new. I'm assuming at this point none of you have not seen this, but we can play it again as we go through if you would like. But I did want to do some updates. I told you guys yesterday, we did the live chat yesterday right after this happened. And I told you guys, as we knew more about what's going on, that we might do another show today. So there's been a lot learned in the last 16 hours-ish, something like that. So I figured we do a little live chat update kind of thing just to see what's going on and just talk to you guys about it. See how you guys are doing. Are you doing okay? But we have learned quite a bit more about everything that happened. So we should just start, shouldn't we? So the shooter's been they found out who the shooter was. This guy, of course, he has three names. Is it just, well, everybody has three names. Well, almost everybody. But is it just that they like announce it more? You know, like when somebody actually tries to assassinate somebody or does assassinate somebody, that they make sure you know all three of their names. Dude's name is Thomas Matthew Crooks. By the way, he is dead. If you don't know that already, how could you not know that already? But if you don't, he's dead. He was taken out by Secret Service. Also, there was one person in the crowd that was killed as well. That person was dead pretty much immediately. We did talk about that yesterday on the chat. That was something that was known pretty much right away. But yeah, this dude, the Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20-year-old, lived in the area in Pennsylvania. What do we know about him so far? Well, we know that he was at some point back when he was 17. He had donated once to a left-wing political group, the Progressive Turnout Project. They have a lot of associations. He donated $15 to a left-wing group. However, when he turned 18 years old, he registered as a Republican. Why he did that, we don't know. Why he donated to this progressive cause a year earlier when he was 17 years old, we don't know. So we know who the person is, and we have a couple little details about him as far as politically, right? We know he was registered as a Republican, but had donated to a left-wing organization. And that's it at this point. We have no motive as of yet. There was a very, very brief back and forth. I wouldn't even call it an interview. With the shooter's father, where basically, you know, he said, look, we're not making any statements at this time. We're just waiting to see what happens. We're waiting. I think he said something along the lines of, we're waiting on more information from the Secret Service. And so it wasn't even, it was like barely a statement. Basically, it was a statement saying we're not making a statement. So not really much going on there. There is some information coming in. I think it was in this story, I believe, that he did use what they're calling an AR-15 style rifle. Now, yesterday when we were talking, because we didn't realize how far the shot had come away from, I was like, well, it sounds like a pistol, the way it's coming through on the microphone. Apparently it wasn't, because he was 150 yards away. So that's why it sounded so small, basically. So he was using a rifle. About 150 yards away. He was across a little area. I mean, the whole thing was kind of in a field. There was a couple of buildings. He was on a building about 150 yards away outside of the area that that the rally was taking place in. So there is that. Again, we know very little about this kid. I mean, he was 20 years old, right? I mean, he's an adult. He's legally an adult, but 20 years old. Don't have any records of him being in college or anything like that. He went to a local high school. We just don't know much about that. Duke's out there in the chat saying link, please. The link is where it always is, Duke. Go look in Discord. But why am I echoing back at myself? Oh, there we go. Oh, crap. Yeah, I had it pulled up here. There we go, Duke.
What up, baby?
Did you figure out where the link was?
I just wanted to say something because I was watching you live. I'm doing some cleaning, but I wanted to say something.
Yes.
I am not okay. I'm not prefacing that I'm some expert.
Yes.
But I have sat in enough pits
in
the Marine Corps on the rifle range.
Mm-hmm.
I said it. I'm telling you, that's what it was. As soon as I heard it, that's what it sounds like when 5.56 whizzes by, and that's I thought immediately that that's what it was for about 100 yards, and that's what it sounded like was zipping because everyone else was saying pistol up close, and I'm like, that didn't sound like a pistol. I think what we were picking up was the audio. His mic was picking up the zinging, and it sounded like a 5.56 at about 150 yards.
Well, it was because it was very quiet. It was just these little pops.
Yes. Yeah, it's that's what it sounds like on the rifle range. When you sit in the pits and you're pulling pits. So you're in the trench and you're pulling the pits so that the guys on the rifle range are shooting. You're pulling the pits and throwing them back up and down. You've seen pictures, right, of the pits? Yeah. So that's what it is, and that's exactly what it sounded like. What are your thoughts on this overall, man? This is crazy.
Well, dude, we talked about that a lot yesterday, but I don't know. I mean, you know what it's going to come down to, I think, at this point is who is this guy?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. Who is this guy? I mean, there's no doubt, I think, that the base has been riled up. I mean, we were talking yesterday, they've essentially, I mean, without killing Donald Trump, they made him a martyr. But that honestly could change depending on who this dude is. Yeah. I mean, if this dude turns out to be some fucking nut job Republican, then I don't know.
No, they're saying this is they were saying yesterday this was he was an Antifa supporter.
Well, maybe he was, but right now we don't know because we know he had donated once when he was 17 years old, like I said, to a left-wing organization. But then when he was 18 and he registered to vote, he registered as a Republican and had voted Republican in the 2022 midterm elections. So who is this dude?
Yeah.
We don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we don't know who this guy is. And I think a lot's going to depend on that. If it turns out he's a radical leftist in one way, shape, or form, then I mean, I don't see how this doesn't cement Donald Trump's candidacy. You know what I mean?
I think it's already done that. I think regardless of how this plays out, because they could just say this dude was a nut job, he was crazy, he went on the back and forth, and they'll find somewhere where they can play. I mean, just to be honest, both sides, you're gonna be able to play at both cards, because at one time you're gonna say, well, he turned leftist in this, like the image has already been burned into our minds, and this, I mean, you got to give it up to him. The guy is the image that I showed that I had on my Discord. It's the Secret Service is hugging him. He's shaking his fist, yelling, "Fight, fight, fight!" And there's blood on his face, and there's an American flag. Like, I thought it was like an AI.
Dude, that's the new campaign poster. That's the new campaign poster. That's what I used for the thumbnail on yesterday's chat.
Yeah, man.
It's the new campaign poster.
It's crazy. Matt, this is absolutely crazy that you could have said that happened in like that perfect of a shot. of like him just rallying the crowd and rallying the cause. And I watched the video, and they're doing the USA chant immediately after. And I gotta be honest, I will give it up fully to the crowd, because they all just kind of ducked. And I get there was shock, they didn't know what was going on. But like, like there wasn't this mass stampede. There wasn't what I would have thought would have been, like, oh my gosh, like riot, run, you know what I mean? And people just kind of bucked down, but they had their phones out. We will have all the angles we need, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, it appears at the moment that this was a crazy as it seems a big win for Donald Trump. That I mean, you really couldn't. I mean, honestly, you as it appears on the surface, you couldn't ask for better promotion of your campaign.
No,
you had somebody try and take you out, and you survived with basically a scratched up ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point.
Like the very definition of a wing, like he winged me, like it's a like you got winged in your ear.
Yeah. And I mean, and the other thing, I mean, like, come on. I mean, the dude, you were in the Marines, but I've been hunting plenty of times. 150 yards?
I know.
This dude was that bad a shot?
Okay, but like,
I mean,
that is okay.
You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying that from a conspiracy theorist point. I'm just talking about how lucky Donald Trump is.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of people who could have made that shot fairly easily. People who've just been hunters a few times, been hunting a few times, could have made that shot.
Right, and so that's what really. I mean, he moved his head. He moved his head at the right moment. Had he not, we would be having a whole different conversation in this moment. And I mean, divine intervention. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy to me. The last time we were having this conversation about a president being harmed with a firearm was 1981 Reagan. That's crazy to me. It's been like 40 some years.
Yeah. 80 wild. Was that 80 something? 85, 86? I can't remember exactly when. 85, maybe something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
81, March 30th, 81.
Oh, was it that long? I thought it was mid-80s. Okay.
No, 81. And that video was crazy with the Uzis and the MP5s and all that. That's really wild. Yeah. But man, I'm just I don't know. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you what didn't help either is Biden's comments a couple days ago when he said put him in a crosshair.
Yeah, I've got this was where's that news article I've got here?
I would be remiss in my duty if I did not point out that he just on July 8th said to a group of Democrats whom he was trying to shore up about his mental acuity, quote, "We're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye." The left.
By the way, I couldn't find the video of that anywhere, so I'm playing her talking about it. But
yeah,
I was looking for the video of him saying that.
That's been scrubbed.
I'm sure. Yeah. I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find any news sites. I couldn't find it anywhere. But I didn't see that originally. I didn't know he had said that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said that at a campaign stop that actually was there cameras. Did somebody? But apparently enough people know about it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, he had just said that again. I mean, on the surface, everything. I mean, this is a win for Donald Trump across the board. This is a win for people who did not want Biden in office, me included, you included, all of us included. I do, however, think that depending on what does come out about the shooter, attitudes may change on certain things, certain aspects. you know, who knows? I was talking to somebody. How much do I want to say about this?
Yeah.
I was talking to someone and we were having a discussion, just a purely hypothetical fucking thought exercise discussion on, you know, what would it take if you really wanted to, like, essentially start a revolution, right? Like, what would it take? I'm being very careful how I say this because it was completely just a thought experiment. I just don't want to say anything that's going to fucking get anybody knocking on my door. And one of the things I said was you would have to have people willing to do really bad things to your own side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And be willing to die or take credit for doing something really awful that they totally don't agree with, but that they could blame the other side for, because that's how you rally up your base. Is you do something really awful to yourself, to your own side, and then blame the other side for it. And I was just talking about this not long ago, and I was like, yeah, you'd have to have people willing to like die, to do really bad things against their own side, and then either swear up and down that they did it on behalf of the other side, or be willing to die for what they did. I'm not saying that's what happened here. Okay. I'm just saying it was just an interesting, because I was literally just having the conversation. Oh, I got a super chat here. Sorry, Steven. What did you say, Steven? Daniel, they're working fine, probably using a naughty word. What are you talking about? Oh, super chats? Are super chats working fine? Was Daniel trying to use naughty words? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, Biden did say this shit. You know what's funny is, remember the first time I really heard something like this be like blasted all over the media was back 2008 with the Sarah Palin comments. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
With the we got to target these districts.
Yep.
You know, and of course what she was talking about was the whole districts that they wanted to win. They wanted the Republicans to win these districts, target those districts. Let's win these districts. And they gave her shit for months and months and months of like encouraging violence against Democrats.
Well, yeah. And
they're a thing.
Yeah, but they're overboard, because I've seen a lot of people encouraging this behavior, and they're totally fine with it.
Oh, they're totally fine with it. Yeah, absolutely.
They're okay with.
I've seen people outright calling for somebody to take Trump out.
Yeah,
like just outright, like not even like not Sarah Palin level. She used the word target when that's not what she meant. They're outright telling people to commit acts of violence against Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters.
Right, and so the slope I saw was it was it not Maxwell? It was 4, 5, 8 years ago when they were talking about, don't let these people go to restaurants. If you see them in a restaurant, if you see them at fast food, you get a crowd together and you let them know they're not welcome.
Yeah, Maxine Waters, I think, was who said that?
Yeah. So like that's the start of it, and now we're at the point where you're okay with violence and deadly violence against another political party member, purely because they don't step in line with what your beliefs are. And
absolutely.
That is
there
so
was
dangerous.
Tons of stuff coming out. I'm trying to see if I had a bunch of videos pulled up here. So there's this dude right here.
Yeah.
I just got brought a couple of examples of the now thousands of videos there are on the internet of saying stuff like this.
The message to whoever shot at Trump: use a lame ass bitch, because how the fuck did you shoot and miss? No, bitch, if you have a mission, make sure you hit that target the fuck right. Bitch, you ain't practiced before you get your ass over there? Huh? You was nervous? Your hand was shaking. The message.
There's that one. And then we got this bitch right here.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it!
Yeah. See, and guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing will happen to those people. What I hope would happen is that, their name would get out there, the HR departments would know, and so like that, things like that would happen. So they wouldn't get hired; they'd get dealt with that way. But what should happen is these people, I just want to like the rhetoric of violence against other people and other political parties is a dangerous road to go down when it's purely ideology based. And it's they're calling for violence.
They've been calling for violence actively, at least since, we saw the big calls for violence happen in 2020, the Summer of Love. That's when it started. So it's been 4 years now of active, outward, like not pussyfooting around it, fucking calling for active, outright acts of violence on the left against the right. They've been doing it publicly, politicians, regular people, fucking bitch ass De Niro, fucking all these motherfuckers been outright calling for violence for 4 straight years now against Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters. They were doing it before when he was president, just not as it popped off really, really big in 2020.
Oh yeah. And so I mean, okay. So it's, to me, it's similar and akin to the person who talks a bunch but can't fight. I relate that to this situation. You don't want to call for violence. Like if you're on, I don't get that side and those groups of people calling for violence, because your violence, if you're on that side, is rioting, looting, and burning.
Yes.
Unprotected, unarmed businesses and people. Just want to remind you that that's what your plan of action is.
Yeah.
The real plan.
I was just talking about this.
So, okay, we allow you to do that stuff. These are products. Your behavior and your behavior is a product of a finite, created, laud, governed, good, conscious people decision, right? So you are allowed to loot and pillage and steal from places and burn things down because we allow you to do that. On the other side, that could be turned and not, that could be not allowed. I'm just saying that, like, there's don't act like you're doing something great. No, you're just like a child throwing a tantrum and the parent is allowing you to throw it, so you wear yourself out. The hand of the father can come down and fix that if it needs to, and should be done at a point.
Yep. And Brian Knight's got a great point. Remember Kathy Griffin holding the severed Donald Trump head?
Exactly.
This shit goes back a while. And I was just talking about this, I think it was Friday night, I can't remember, but we were talking about, violence on the right versus violence on the left. And there's no comparison. Everybody loves to throw up January 6th.
Yeah.
Now, there was a lot of people on January 6th, and they did some fucked up shit and damaged some property and whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. Okay. But by the way, just so everybody's fucking clear, despite all the bullshit reports that have been proven wrong, nobody fucking died from violence. Okay. There was a couple cops who got injured. True. That's true. But nobody died. There was one person that died from a heart attack. I think there was a cop who died from a stroke several days later. That had nothing to do with that day. There was 4 cops that committed suicide within the 2 to 3 months after that day that they tried to blame on that day. That's why the cops committed suicide.
But you need to look at...
However, how many fucking people died during all the riots from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023? How many fucking people died from the left-wing riots, from the Antifa riots, the Black Lives Matter riots? How many people were shot and killed? How many cops were killed? I don't really give a bunch of a shit about cops, but it's true.
But you also
how many people were injured? How much property was damaged when they went to Washington the year before? In 2020, summer 2020, and were lighting buildings on fire. Summer of Rage, mostly peaceful protests. Remember all that bullshit? Mm-hmm. The levels of violence of left versus right is nowhere near equal, and they can say the words January 6th all they fucking want. It doesn't even come close to compare to what the left wing is willing to do and actively encourages people to do, and has for fucking years now.
Yep. And you know, that is dangerous rhetoric, because what that's going to cause is it's going to the goalpost is going to continually be moved. Because at first it was stopping people from enjoying a meal or being out at a restaurant, and then it's going to be, well, now you can yell at them, and then now you can scream at them, and now you should gather a crowd up. Do you know what gathering a crowd does? Gathering a crowd puts you at, you think it puts you under the assumption that you have the upper hand. That is a dangerous thing to put yourself in when there's 10 people and you think you're going to surround me and scream at me and come and threaten me. Ooh, do you know what that gives me the opportunity? You're acting inappropriate, because what you think you're going to do is different from what is going to happen.
Yep.
If you're in a situation that way. So I think that these are people who they're so ill-informed, and they still live cushioned, protected lives that are, misinformed.
They are, and this is not, let me be real clear. So we have to be clear on the internet. This is not a threat, but when you do that shit long enough, and then something like this happens, do not expect for there not to be repercussions if you continue to act out.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, what just happened yesterday drew a line in the fucking sand. Yep. And any level of patience people had in places like, look at all the places where the shit went down: Washington, D.C., New York, fucking Chicago, Portland, fucking Seattle, Atlanta, all these places where for fucking, 5-6 years now, they've seen just radical, massive amounts of left-wing violence. People are going to be like, no, fuck it. The next time they see it, they're going to say, fuck it. I'm done with this. And they're going to act out, and they're going to fight back when they see this. And again, I'm not saying that as a threat or anything. Just throwing that out there. What happened yesterday is going to make some people draw a fucking line in the sand and say, no more. I'm not putting up with this shit any fucking more. I'm not dealing with these fucking Antifa-tards or any of this more leftist fucking bullshit. They've fucking taken it too far. I'm done. And if people see it, they're going to fucking act out against it.
I'm not going to be a victim.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be accosted by your plans for my well-being or my family's well-being. And if you believe that you're going to dictate my safety, there will be a cross that we will come to. We will come to a cross.
Yep.
And so like, that's where people are, the change is going to happen.
Yeah.
And, and then like I said, that and the continued call for violence, you better be careful.
Yeah.
Because that is such a dangerous road to go down. Because my opinion is this: I don't want people being hurt. I don't want people being succumb to violence. I don't want that. That's a good thing here in this country for the most part, is that doesn't happen on a daily basis. That happens in other parts of the world where they solve everything with mass violence, and it goes back and back and back and forth. That's what we should abstain from. But don't act like you're going to go down that path and it's just going to go your way.
It's I'm telling you, yesterday fucking was a line too far for a lot of people. And you're not going to see the same reactions anymore of people just sitting back and fucking like whatever, and just instead of going to a particular part of town because there's some Antifa protest, they're just going to stay at home or avoid it. They're not going to let it interfere with their fucking daily lives anymore. I'm not going to be surprised you see some of these fuckers out there blocking roads. Somebody's going to get fucking run over because people are fucking tired of it now.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I'm not threatening anything, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's when one side just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and the powers that be just seem to let them do it every fucking time, whether it's through fucking these shitty ass fucking left-wing mayors letting them get away with fucking co-opting entire sections of a city, or fucking George Soros fucking DAs dropping charges on murderers and pedophiles, or whatever the fuck it is. People are going to get real fed up with it real quick. And this was the line in the sand that told people it went too far. Why it took this line in the sand, I don't know, because we've been talking about it for years now, that it's gone too fucking far, but it has. And you can keep saying, like I said, you can keep saying January 6th all you fucking want. And you can keep saying insurrection all you fucking want. The fact of the matter is, nobody showed up with a fucking gun, okay? And nobody fucking died. Period. End of story. Think of it. There was estimates are somewhere between 100 to 150,000 people in a very small area that day. Yep. Not one person fucking died. Not one person brought a fucking gun and did anything crazy with it. And you're telling me that's an insurrection. But yet, what happened yesterday, or again, we go back to 2017, the thing nobody wants to talk about when a dude tried to take out a third of Congress on a baseball field.
Yep.
But nobody talks about this shit anymore, right? But let's just keep talking about January 6th. Let's just keep talking about it. Let's just keep it going. So, yeah, for people that don't know, I put this up on this was something a lot of people were looking at. This is the information from where the dude donated to this a progressive turnout project. He donated $15. Again, so little information has come out. Granted, a lot more information than we knew yesterday. We know the guy's name. We know where he lived. We know who his parents are. We know he was a registered Republican who had donated to left-wing causes. I did look up some information in Pennsylvania as far as like what it takes to be registered in Pennsylvania, because he was registered when he turned 18. And in Pennsylvania, I'm not familiar with this, Duke. I don't know about Michigan, but in Texas, we don't register with parties. You just vote however the fuck you want. So when I turned 18, I just filled out, my registration and all that, and, to vote and, to be drafted if ever that were to happen. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. Apparently in Pennsylvania, when you go to register, you have to pick a party. So, I don't know what the situation was. He lived at home with his parents. I don't know if his parents were Republicans. And so he just registers Republican. They are saying he did vote in 2022 midterms in the Republican primaries as a Republican. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Certainly the left is going to use that to say he was a Republican. They're already doing it. So again, there's still a lot we don't know about this dude and what his intentions were. As of yet, there's been nothing coming out that anybody knew this was going to happen. Unlike many other things that we've seen.
Now, what
the FBI didn't have any tags on this dude. They didn't know who he was. He has absolutely zero criminal history. Nobody was watching him. Nobody had any reason to believe he was going to do anything crazy as of right now.
What were your thoughts on the... I mean, have you explored further on your thoughts on the snipers that were on the roof and their reaction?
Yes, I was very curious about that because clearly, and you can see from multiple photos that have been posted, there was a sniper pointed directly in his direction. There was a sniper that was faced directly towards those buildings across that field.
Well, it had with almost no movement from eyeglass to look to shoot. There was almost no movement. So he was on him. He was on him. He was orientated at least that way. Correct? Can we watch the video?
Yes.
I mean, he's like, and he like, look, he's like, he's there. The shooting starts. He looks, he goes back to the glass and he fires. Like that. I question that so hard, man.
It was strange. And I don't know if more is going to come out about that. I am 100% positive that the Secret Service will probably have an investigation into everything. Will we ever know what that investigation uncovers? I mean, was he just, again, and we played the interview yesterday of the guy, and it's turned out to be true. The guy who did the interview, he did like a 10-minute interview with the BBC right after the shooting. And it turns out to be 100% true that, and because there was also video released, and I've got some video of that too, where people were actively shouting, "Dude with a gun, dude with a gun, dude with a gun." They knew it. People were. Do I have the video? I had the video. I don't know what happened to it. But people were actively calling this dude out. They knew minutes before it happened. There's a dude on the roof with a gun, and people were actively shouting, trying to get people's attention to this. Now, in this area that we can see here, in this area here, I'm gonna play. This is right when he dies too. But even before then, the guy that did the interview said, yeah, we were here before Donald Trump started speaking. We saw the guy crawl up there. We saw him get up. He had a rifle. We were shouting. We were pointing. He says, we saw, Secret Service. I was standing here and I was just holding my arm out, pointing to the dude as Secret Service was looking at me saying, guys, look. And, they didn't take him out until after the shot. So what the fuck was going on with Secret Service? Again, we weren't there. We don't know the situation. I don't know how many Secret Service agents were in that part of the field, which if you've seen, when we showed it yesterday, I should have pulled it up again today. There's like a field with a couple of barns behind it. That's where Trump was. Then there's a stretch of like field over to some more buildings. I think this is a rural farming area, so I don't know what those buildings were. That's the building he's on top of right here, about 150 yards away from where Trump was. So there's two groupings. There's the rallies over here, and then there's a grouping of buildings where the guy is set up on top of one of them. How many Secret Service agents were there? I don't know. You would think a lot, because that's where all the buildings were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You would think.
This isn't New York City. It wasn't like you couldn't have covered it properly.
Yeah.
So how does this happen? The only thing I can think of is that they think it's another agent. They think it's one of the local guys set up to provide some overwatch, maybe. And they're cautious. And he's like, is that it?
Although you would think they would have enough communication to know. Especially the sniper that we see who's on the buildings directly behind Trump.
I'm trying to find that video of him delaying. Where's that?
Yeah, you would think that he would be, if they're not going to tell anybody else, they're going to tell him, okay, we're going to have guys here, 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 and here. So if you see anybody on a fucking roof, that's them. If you see anybody that's not them, that ain't us. You would think that dude would have at least been informed. If nobody else was fucking informed, the dude with the, what I'm assuming, I don't know, looked like a fucking 338 Lapua something or other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking that dude who's directly on the building, directly behind the Trump stage. There's the Trump stage, then there's a crowd of people and some risers, and then there's the building with the fucking sniper on top of it. You would think he would have been told, hey, this is where our people are. So if you see anybody else, that ain't us. Go to your, if you want, your Discord. I just messaged you the video that we're talking about. Okay. All right. Let me get that one pulled up here.
Because it shows exactly what I want. Like,
let me see. Okay. Let me stop screen sharing this. We're going to start screen sharing that.
Because what we're going to see is that he's looking down the scope, and then the shots go off. He looks.
Yeah, this is the dude. So there's three. So there's three of these barns behind Trump, right? Yeah. There's one over here, and then there's another one over here. Trump's in front of the middle one, which we can't see. This is the one closest to where all the buildings were, where the guy shoots from. And that is the reason he's pointed in that direction, because that's the direction where there's the most cover and where most likely somebody would do something exactly like this. Because on the other side of this field that we can't see, this direction, there's nothing. There's nothing out there. I think that's where they were parking, where people were parking and stuff. There's nothing there. So this guy is faced in the correct direction, right? Because that's obviously, hey, look, if somebody's going to be doing something, they're going to be hiding behind a building over there where these buildings are, or on top of a building or something, which, of course, is exactly what happened. But let's watch the video, because he's facing the direction of the shooter.
And you know know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah. I mean,
he is looking at the guy.
Yeah.
And orientated right at that guy. And the shots go off after.
Yeah, he doesn't adjust. He doesn't move.
No.
He was looking right at where that dude was.
Yeah. And
his gun doesn't move until he shoots.
Yeah. And he is orientated and like perfectly fixed on that position. It's not that he's somewhere else. The only reason why, like, I mean, like, that's what I do when I hunt. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't hunt through your glass of your rifle or your shotgun, like a slug gun or a 450.
No.
So I hunt with I know where my rifle's orientated in a certain direction, but I'm off of the glass and I'm looking, and then I go to the glass to verify, and then I look, and then I jump back. That's exactly what you do as a hunter. That's why I can identify that as he was already orientated to his target, which was that guy.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that video, and defense, because we don't know everything. I'm wondering if that video starts right when he's like, wait a minute. And it's just a hair too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe the
guy drops. And that's when the video starts up. So we've missed the part where he's identified the dude, adjusted the rifle. He's looking through to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the shots ring off. He fires back, but it was just a few seconds too late to get him before he could get some shots off. I don't know. Just again,
what happens?
It's all speculation.
You've seen the video of the shooter getting taken out?
I have not seen that one. No.
Okay,
this shows the moment when that happens, but the fucking camera is all over the place.
Okay. So
it doesn't actually show it. Like, so this happened. This is when the shots are going off.
Uh-huh.
He's there. He's not dead yet. And then the camera's like not even looking at the right place.
Okay.
Because you'll see it comes back to him. Then the camera drops down.
Yeah.
And then when the camera comes back up, he's blurred out because he's already dead.
Okay. I guess what we don't know
he's blurred out.
Movements were. What were his movements? Maybe he crested, the top of the building or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe he was walking or he crawled up there.
If you look at the slope of the roof and the angle he's pointed in, he's on the down slope of the roof.
Can you share that? Just link with me in the private chat so I can look at what you're looking at. I know you don't want to show it. He's obviously high enough up that he can see what he's shooting at. But he's also, and whether this was planned or not, he's wearing clothes very similar to the color of the roof. So again, I don't want to completely like throw Secret Service under the bus. You know what I mean? There may have been a myriad of reasons, I put it there in the private chat, why they did not see him immediately. He's on the downslope side of the roof, but obviously his head and his rifle is high enough to take the shot. Therefore, that parts of his body is high enough to, be seen. But again, we who knows? Who knows what was going on? It is very strange, like you said, that nobody saw anything sooner. But I think more so than whether or not the guy did or didn't see him, even though he appears to be pointed the right direction, is the fact that these people came out and said, yes, for several minutes, we were telling people there was a dude on the roof and nobody did anything. Yeah, that bothers me a lot. What did you think about the response of the overall Secret Service?
I thought it was slow. Like when you watch the video, let's watch the video. When you watch the video here, given the pops you hear and Trump go down, I don't know how far away. You can't see them. But it seems to take, at least in a situation like this, too long for them to get to the stage. Let's watch.
Okay, let's watch it, and then I got some hot takes.
Okay.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look.
You're not seeing it. You're right. I didn't add it to the screen. That would be helpful in a situation like this.
Perhaps.
There we go.
Look what happened.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's not as bad as I remembered.
No, but this is not my problem. This is my problem. Continue. Like,
Moving square. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Get ready.
see, this seems the movement from here and to not move him out. I guess that's my question.
Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear.
This I didn't have as much of a problem with because essentially what they're doing is, I mean, they all have
top of him. They're
vests on, and they're completely correct surrounding him.
Yeah.
There's a picture that I should have pulled, but there's a picture of him buried underneath them. You could tell it came from somebody behind the stage because they're taking a picture of the right-hand side of his head.
Uh-huh.
And you can see him like completely like surrounded.
Yeah.
And you can just catch a little bit of his face between like a couple of the guy's arms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've basically entombed him with their bodies and their bulletproof vests. Yep. So that doesn't bother me that much. And you can hear them when they go back, shooters down.
It's when they're moving him.
Oversight Chair James Comer just put out a statement.
Get ready. We ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good?
See, shooters down. Are we good? Okay, shooters down. Now we can get him up and move him.
It just seemed to me that they would have moved a lot. They would have just got out of there.
My question is, what's behind the stage? Because at the beginning, you can see 2, at least, maybe 3. I can't tell. Watch it again. Agents come up from directly behind the stage.
Yeah.
Why didn't you pull him down back behind the stage?
I would say
again, I don't want to judge too harshly.
I know. I don't want to judge either. It just seemed weird to me because I thought they would have done the Reagan thing and they would have got him out of there. But I guess they didn't know where the fire was coming from.
Yeah.
And
so we got 1, 2 come up from seemingly behind the stage, which tells me there's probably nothing behind him.
Yeah. Have you seen the part where people are saying this is JFK Jr.? Dude, have you seen that part?
No.
Okay, look at the guy in the suit with the suit coat and the T-shirt.
Oh, wait, we got somebody else here.
You see what I'm saying? The suit coat with the big hair. They're saying that's JFK Jr.
JFK Jr. Jesus Christ.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't react. He's being cool. It's JFK Jr.
So me and my folks were going over the reaction of the crowd. Like, what y'all supposed to do? Then I had to tell them, hey, these are white people. They don't really have common sense. So they're just going to stay there.
Well, yeah, I guess. Interesting. You don't really see anybody like try to do anything. Mm-hmm. However, if anybody tried to run out of the stands right there, I guarantee you they would get stopped immediately and tackled. If anybody had tried to do anything other than just stay there, because you can see, and there's a couple of, I guess they're state troopers. They're not Secret Service, kind of moving back and forth in front of that bandstand area. And they're like, no. Look at this dude right here. He's got his gun pointed at the fucking crowd.
At the ready. He's ready to rock and roll.
Nobody fucking move. Nobody fucking move. He's looking for anybody running is what he's doing. They're looking for anybody trying to run.
But I'm surprised that they just didn't get out of there immediately. I guess you'd have to look at doctrine and what like SOP is for them. But I guess if it's an unknown equation, you don't know where it's at. Why would you move if you're on top of them and safe? And then I just thought it was strange, although I like it. The pictures are cool that like show him showing his defiance towards the situation. But I was just so surprised that they wouldn't say like, no, Mr. President, once we're getting up off the ground, we're shoving you into an armored limousine and we're leaving.
Yeah.
Like Reagan, like didn't they like one of the guys broke Reagan's ribs by throwing him in the car so hard. So it becomes, and I understand the situation they're in, but like, no, sir, you don't get to make the decision. Our job is to keep you safe. So we're gonna throw you in, like we're gonna move you up and like throw you into a car at the bottom of these stairs. Do you think this will change back crowds? Because did the person, where'd the person die at? The person,
I think it was okay. So no, well, it wasn't in this one. There's another one of these over here, just out of frame.
Oh, and that's who got.
There were 3 of these sections set up behind Trump. This is the center one. There was one over here and one over here.
Okay.
He was in the one that's over here, just off stage that we can't see, or just off screen.
Okay.
Interesting. Chris in the chat says one of the news channels stated that the banner is a barricade and it's bulletproof. That would also explain why they went down behind it, if that's true.
I guarantee that's bulletproof. Guaranteed. Yeah.
So that they use their bodies and that to barricade themselves. Although, given where the shot was coming from, that was not going to do anything because the shot's coming from way over here. But they didn't know that in the moment. So all they knew is the shots came out. But let's see, what else do we have in here? Because we've got a lot. Already got that one. Got that one. Oh, the Biden speech. Anybody would care to watch that?
God.
This is
what I watched some of it.
What did he say?
Well, typical political theater is what it is. Okay. Honestly, I mean, it's not. We were talking about it yesterday. Biden has to come out and say something about this, obviously, and he did.
Did he come out right and say it was wrong, or did he dance?
Yes, he did. He did. Again, political theater. I don't think he gives a shit, but he had to come out and say it.
Yeah. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate.
No, it's not unheard of, by the way. This is not unheard of. It's literally been happening, just not to a presidential candidate. It's been happening for years, but whatever.
Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald,
he almost said president.
As well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to, I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have.
I believe the question, if you were listening, was, do you think this was an assassination attempt? Duh. Yes. Is the appropriate answer, but okay.
Facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are
So the thing that pissed me off about all of that is when he was all like, I'm going to put my slogan in here. We need to unite the country.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on now, man.
Yeah. But that was his response. And again, we talked about this yesterday when it happened. He had to put out a response. Like, you can't just not put out a response. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he gives shit. But he had to put out a response. So there you go. You know what I mean? We played this video already. Again, it's not a good video. There may be better video out there. But again, this goes back to these people were shouting for several minutes that there's a dude on the roof. And again, we don't know what was going on with Secret Service. We don't know how many Secret Service agents were on that side of the field next to these buildings. But we saw the interview yesterday with the guy. Let me see if I can get it pulled up again.
Well, one thing I'm not getting here, right? It's an open field. How do y'all not have eyes everywhere? Right? Not just
I mean, well, and
again,
as we saw with the shooter, not the shooter, the guy who actually took the shot, the Secret Service agent, presumably, who was on the roof behind Trump, he was already looking in that direction. So they knew that was an area where potentially something could come from. You know what I mean? They fully understood this. This was not anything new, not anything crazy, right? Like, that was what made the most sense for something to come from that direction in that area. The other side of the field, if you looked at it, I really wish I could find that stupid. We were showing it yesterday.
It was like a map of the shoot of where it was.
Diagram of what the field looked like, and I had it yesterday, and I don't know why I can't find it today. But
let's see if we can find this.
The other side of the field, there was nothing. It was just big open field. I think there was some people that had parked there, if I remember correctly. That was where there was parking and stuff. But let's see. Did you get it here?
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, you got it there. Let me get this one pulled up here.
You might have to. It might ask you to sign in or whatever. But another one.
You mother tard. Yeah, I can't look at it.
Give me a second. Yeah. There's another one here for you.
There
you go.
All right. We'll try this one here.
And you scroll down a little bit, it'll have the V for it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where the shooter was. There's all these buildings over here. He was on top of this building. These are the three buildings behind him. This was the building that the sniper was on. He was approximately about right here. He was towards the front of the building, just on this side of the downslope, looking in this direction.
How do you not look at that? Okay, Matt, look at that.
I know.
We neither of us have any, none of us here have any Secret Service training. But you're going to put a stage there. Where are you going to put your sniper teams? I don't know. Maybe I'll put them on the 3 rooftops behind me. And I don't know, to the rooftops to the right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the thing. I wouldn't have
basic.
I wouldn't even. I might have people up there, but I would have drones. There's drones with camera footage that you can get that for fucking $50.
And you got a bunch of cops and state troopers. You don't have to have a Secret Service sniper team, but you got some SWAT guys that are rifle qualled with ACOGs that could sit up on the roof over there and make sure, I don't know, some lunatic doesn't get on top of the roof and try and shoot at the president. You can have one guy over there.
And to point out, just as we're looking at this, how lucky Donald Trump was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
because that shot right there, for any of us that have ever done any target shooting or hunting or all that, that is not a difficult shot at 150 yards to hit a man-sized target.
If you scroll down more, it gives you more of a breakdown of, like pictures and stuff.
Oh, here we go. Did he have?
Okay, so yeah.
Did he have any glass on his rifle? Did we see that?
I couldn't see. From the pictures I've seen, I could not see if he had anything. The pictures I've seen make me think he didn't, because you can see clearly in front of his face. So either the pictures that I've seen of him, he's not looking down the scope, or he didn't have a scope, because every picture I've seen of him on top of that roof, which hasn't been a lot, and they've been shitty cell phone footage, so it's hard to see, but there's nothing in front of his eye line. So that's I don't know. The answer is I don't know. But I haven't seen a scope on his rifle. But then again, in the pictures, you can barely see his rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm just trying to get a firmer grasp of the situation. I mean, we're talking about, this is some this isn't JFK, but
No.
man, it's pretty darn close in a sense of how people are going to be analyzing this whole thing, and the amount of footage that we have, and the amount of material we have to overview now. I'm just saying this is going to be quite intense, I think, of a review. I don't know. I guess I'm not as now seeing the full footage of some of the reaction. I'm just surprised at the poor planning, because even looking at this as with no training of at all from this kind of stuff, on this end, the Secret Service end, I'm just saying, like, how do you not put somebody on top of that roof?
Yeah, exactly. Me and my wife were just talking about that earlier.
This one makes it even crazier. I mean, look at that direct line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
All the stands where people were in were behind him and in front of him, because the stuff that I've seen, there was nothing here. There was no bandstands put up or anything, no stadium seating, nothing put up on this side. They had fences up, but he's high enough up that there was a direct line of sight right here. But also the sniper, the Secret Service agent sniper that was right here, had a direct line of sight to him on top of this roof.
There wasn't anywhere to now I see this. There wasn't anywhere else for him to frickin' look at, Matt.
Yeah.
You like, oh my gosh, I want to say so much.
Okay. If y'all were the president, wouldn't y'all expect that all adjacent buildings in your immediate proximity be manned so this doesn't happen?
Okay, let me say this.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Okay, so let me say this. I have worked with the Secret Service a couple of times, and you know the first question I was asked about elevated positions. That was the first question they asked, was they wanted to know about elevated positions. What other elevated positions were in the area that they wanted to know about? That's like that is the first.
And to explain to people, because I think we have a lot of people watching that are not subscribed to this channel. Duke, explain yourself and who you are.
No, no, I'm just.
Well, no, I mean, there's people that wonder like why you've worked with the Secret Service before. It's because he was a Marine and he's been in situations before where he's had interactions with them in situations like this.
Yes,
because again, I've got a lot of people watching right now. So a lot of them may not be subscribers to the channel, and they don't know who the hell you are, dude.
And I'm just gonna give a prefaces. I am no SF guy. I am no one special at all. I am no one special. When it comes to anything military related, I did a 4-year tour, and I got out as a real cool guy. I'm just saying.
But you've done more than most people have, in my opinion. You actually served.
I'm just saying that. No, I'm just saying that I'm coming from a very minute form of background, and I could tell you that's like the first thing that they wanted to know when they came into the area was what other things were taller than where we were at.
Yeah.
So and I'm not like, how is that not covered in this situation? And looking at this map plainly, it's the elevated
position. How close it is. Like, it's right there.
Yep.
It's right there. Why did they not have people on those roofs?
I don't know. I me and my wife were talking about this earlier. It could go several ways, and I don't know exactly how much we can say on this platform. So it just seems very suspicious.
I'm
sure, like we said earlier, I'm sure there's going to be a 100%, thorough investigation. I hope, by the Secret Service into what the shit happened. Because looking at these photos, and I am no expert on anything at all, but having Been to having gone out shooting most of my life and hunting and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. This is an easy shot, and anybody with any training whatsoever, which I have none, would absolutely know. Oh, this is an easy shot. We need to control that area. Yeah, we need to control those rooftops.
And don't tell me you don't have a plethora of staff. And I'm not talking about Secret Service staff. I understand his contingent may be still relatively small, but you have local law enforcement, sheriffs, local police, state police in the area. It doesn't take that much for you to get a group of guys that's on that roof. I mean, like a couple of cops. That's all you need. Just to, hey, guys, go up there and watch it. We'll be in radio contact with you. But, like, you guys need to be up there and make sure nobody else uses it as a elevated position to shoot. I mean, like, these are basic concepts of, like, elevated position gives you the point of fire, the direction. Like, I just these. How does this thing? You're the Duke. You're a Marine. You're the most special of the special. Well, yes, you are. I am special. That is true. But yeah, Duke Liberty. Go check out on YouTube. There you go.
The comment above that said plug. Duke's an expert at falling asleep during live chats.
That is true. I am
and having motion-related injuries.
Yep,
it's horrible. But no, in reality, I just think like if we are picking these out, we don't have any experience in this, and it's. I mean, it's natural. I don't know. Look at like be an expert in 80s movies and tell me where the bad guy's gonna be. Like, okay, he's gonna be on the roof.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
Come on, man.
It should just be basic stuff to have all the fucking roofs manned around the area, so this doesn't happen. And you could see, I'm sure you've already talked about it. Like this, they were hollering that someone had a gun, so.
This, by the way, is another angle here for the shooting. This is from behind the stage. Excuse me.
Happened to our country, probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, of course. They always move the camera.
This is what surprises me, Matt, right here. Yeah. This is what surprises me. That they're not shoving him down the stairs. They're letting him do this. This is the part that was surprising to me.
Yeah, you think they would pick his ass up and haul him off if there's that many hugging him.
I'll tell you what, though, that shot, and we were talking about this earlier, that shot of him with blood on the side of his face,
with his
holding up his fist and saying, fight. Dude, that's campaign gold right there, dude.
No shit. Oh, that kind of gives you like goosebumps.
That is for sure fucking gold. Like that is going to be his campaign poster for the next, 4 months.
I've already seen people starting to make T-shirts of that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That is that imagery there is going to live for a very, very long time.
So Trump being Trump, he's going to go out there again, right? That's a problem.
Yeah. I was surprised he wasn't there last night. He was supposed to be at the UFC fight. And I'm telling you, if the UFC fight would have been closer to Pennsylvania, he would have been there. And I'm telling you, I almost wished. I told my brother-in-law was watching it live, and I'm like, dude, if he got out of the hospital at like 9:30, he jumps on a plane immediately, he might make it to like the end of the fight. Because like the fight doesn't happen like for hours, the main fight. Like if he walked out before the main fight went on and he's got his head wrapped up, like, oh my gosh, the people are gonna go bananas.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see
it would have fucking erupted.
Is he gonna go? Because they canceled the Republican convention. You know that, right?
They did.
What?
Yeah,
they canceled.
Did not hear that. Well, I'm sure they probably haven't canceled. They probably postponed it because they're going to add security and reassess the location and everything going on there. So I'm sure they didn't just like cancel it. They'll still have it, but given everything that's going on.
Has Trump made an announcement yet since being shot? Like has he
done
come out?
Tweets.
Yeah, he's been tweeting and putting out that he's okay and Donald Trump Jr. has been posting stuff saying, Dad's okay, everything's good. He wants to fight for this country, and nobody's going to take him out, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
the stuff you would expect. I am
be...
expecting him very soon, possibly today, to make an announcement, to actually do some sort of press conference.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine.
I hope so.
Today or tomorrow. Because that's just kind of the type of dude he is. He does not miss out on an opportunity for press.
No.
So I'm expecting him to come out and say something publicly at some point here soon. I'm sure it'll be a press conference from some well-guarded room somewhere, but a press conference nonetheless. So
I was just saying that because, I know a lot of us and most of us want to hear from him personally that he's okay and see that he's all right, because we all know that the press secretary for Biden was caught tweeting from Joe's account and her account, almost back to back. So it could just be honestly anyone on the tweets or the X tweets, whatever you want to call them. So I just would like to see him physically.
Well, I mean, he's the one that does on the.
There was a video, and I can't remember if I pulled it up. I saw a video posted somewhere of him, coming. They had already moved him. He's already got on a plane last night and left somewhere. And they had I saw a video of him. It was basic stuff. It was just him walking down the stairs out of the plane and getting in a car and leaving. But he wasn't being assisted. He wasn't all wrapped up. He was just chilling. He's still wearing the same clothes he was wearing, all that kind of stuff. You could tell because they had because when this happened, they took his tie off of him. They ripped his tie off to check him.
Yeah.
Well, they have to because they got to check his neck, all that kind of stuff. And you won't feel that stuff in the moment.
Yeah. So you could tell he was wearing the same outfit. He's looking all disheveled with no tie on and his shirt kind of undone and all this kind of stuff. And he just walks out of the plane, walks down the stairs and gets in a car. And he seemed fine. He was walking normally. Nobody was walking him down the stairs or anything like that. So
posted it in the chat if you wanted to see it, but it's not very long. It's like 30 seconds or something.
Oh, okay. Missouri Patriot in the chat says 6 minutes ago, RNC on as planned. Okay.
Okay. There you
go.
Right.
Man, imagine how many more people are going to show up to that event now.
Exactly. I was saying that last night, that his next rally is probably going to be the biggest rally ever.
Well, they might not allow it. You got to remember too. There's gonna be some
this one here. This is the video of him just coming down the stairs, looking fine. As far as we can tell, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what happens? Let's say he didn't get winged, and it went the other way.
Ooh.
How does that play out? How does that play out?
I would say you know what? Not much different. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think not much different
because it's still technically an assassination attempt.
So.
No, I think what Duke is referring to is how much more worse would it have been for this country if Trump got killed?
That's what I mean.
If he actually, I thought you meant if he didn't get hit at all.
No. I meant
okay.
Unfortunately, not what we want. No violence. But what would have? So we've seen how it played out. He got winged. What happens if he was killed? What do you think happens?
Bro, that's civil war. I would think there's going to be a lot of the.
There would be a very vast, very quick balkanization of this country.
I would have to agree.
I think governors
people would take to the street.
Well, and I don't think it's just people. I think you would see governors step up and say, "We're not putting up with this shit anymore."
Yeah.
These crazy leftists are no longer going to run our states. We're not going to allow them. We're not giving them any quarter any longer in our states. In our politics, anything you would see, whether Texas and a lot of these red states would immediately start to just completely change policies, and you would see it balkanize very quickly. You would see them go up against the federal government in ways they haven't before. You would see states just outright ignoring federal laws. Would that lead to a full-blown civil war? I don't know. But and then also it depends on who steps up to take the Republican nominee position. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I can see, like Texas and maybe some other states trying to secede.
It would be interesting. Not necessarily in a good thing, but it would.
No, definitely
it'd be crazy times. We got a super chat here from Firefighter says this is crazy that this has happened. Also, we know Duke is also the group's expert on horror movies. Oh no, never mind.
Momo is his favorite. He loves
this
Momo.
Is crazy that it's happened. Also, we all know Duke is also the group expert of horror movies. Oh nope. Yeah, that is true. Nope. Nope. Don't like that.
Oh nope. Moments.
Duke loves Momo.
So this is they blocked off the home of the shooter because he lives with his parents, so his parents' home.
Mm-hmm.
This is not really an interesting video.
What's going on? I have no idea. What? I can't go down the road?
Nope. Oh, that was because they found
what's that?
Explosives in the car or something like that. They sent out.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Did they find explosives in the car?
I hadn't heard that either.
Again, it's just who knows? Who knows if it's true? But I do know that they did go to his house, like the police department and Secret Service or whatever.
Oh yeah, they went to his house. They've already the parents. They've been interviewing the parents and all that kind of stuff because he lived with his parents. They have the neighborhood blocked off. Again, like I said, I did see one quick little clip. It wasn't even a clip. It wasn't video. It was text. It was just a transcript of the dad. Apparently, one reporter tried to get an interview out of him, and he said, "We're not saying anything right now. There's too much investigation going on." And then just left it at that. It wasn't even a statement, really. It was just, we're not saying anything. So that's all we've gotten out of the parents so far. Of whoever this guy is. And again, to reiterate, because there's a lot of people that weren't around, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes now. To reiterate what we know about the shooter is essentially this is a guy who was 20 years old. When he was 17, he was donating to left-wing causes. When he was 18 and he registered to vote, he registered as a Republican. So we don't know exactly what this guy's political beliefs were, because there seems to be at least things that tip off that he could have been for either side. Mm-hmm. So we don't know much, to be honest. We know his name. We know he donated to left-wing causes, but when he turned 18, he registered as a Republican. Now, did he do that because his parents were Republican? I don't know. I saw a couple stories come out saying he did actually vote in the 2022 midterm elections in the primaries, I believe. But we don't know much about that. And to vote in the midterm primaries, you have to vote for the party you're registered to in Pennsylvania. So that would imply he voted in the Republican primaries. That doesn't necessarily mean he voted for Republicans in the actual general campaign, the general election for those midterms. So we don't know. We don't know what this dude's political leanings were. My instinct is anybody who would try to take out a presidential candidate obviously is politically opposed to them in some way. Okay. Right. So he was obviously politically opposed to Donald Trump in some way. Of course, the left-wing media is spinning this as he's a Republican. Right-wing media is spinning this as, look, he donated to left-wing causes. We don't know what the truth is. So I just want to make that clear. We don't know what the truth is at this point. I have seen people, come out and say, oh, well, we saw this stuff on social media about him. I've not seen any social media. All his social media has been shut the hell down. So,
of course,
which happens every time. So, if anybody, I'm sure at some point somebody will release some screenshots and things like that of social media that may give us more insight into this dude's political leanings. I haven't seen that yet. So again, to reiterate, at the moment, we don't know what was up with this dude, other than to say, I think it's safe to say he was in some way politically opposed to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Was it?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to the fact that he was in a BlackRock ad a few years ago? I've seen that on I've seen that on the Discord.
I've not seen that. No.
Yeah, because there's an ad that is on the Discord right now that shows the same guy in the BlackRock ad.
The 20-year-old kid?
Yeah. Well, he was younger then, shorter hair.
And what was he doing in the ad? Like what kind of ad was this?
He was like he was a student to the teacher that they were interviewing.
Right.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, if he's just like a student that's just there, I mean, that could be anybody. That doesn't really mean anything.
He was groomed. Suspicious.
Ooh, he was groomed by BlackRock. Let's get them conspiracy theories growing.
Right.
See, technically, what it is he's the grandson of the guy that worked with the Russian mob and the CIA who actually killed JFK. And so this is a family tradition that's been passed down to take out presidents who know too much. Let's get that conspiracy theory going. Yeah. Let's just come up with all the conspiracy theories we can.
He's the younger brother of that Hyde guy. You hear me? He's the younger brother of the Hyde guy that keeps going around.
Yeah, Sam Hyde. He's Sam Hyde's younger brother. For those that don't know the Sam Hyde meme, it's very funny. If you did know, you'd laugh too. A couple people. This guy right here, I thought put out a good statement. I like this.
Left-wing nut jobs. You can't win on merit, so you got to do what? Try and kill the man? Really? It's a good thing y'all don't know how to shoot. It's a good thing y'all are piss poor at defense, self-defense, offense, all of it. Well, the only thing you proved is this, that you guys are the ones that are prone to violent actions. Every time you lose, violence. But we're the extremists, right? We are the ones that are extremists. That's kind of odd. That's really odd. Last time I checked, when the man you took a shot at today won in 16, y'all burned and rioted. When you don't get your way, you burn and riot. When something happens to one of your felons, you burn and riot. He got indicted 34 times, and we didn't do a single bit of looting, rioting, or burning. This is certainly proof that you guys are the violent ones. And if there is anyone capable of local terroristic acts, it's you people.
I can't argue with any of that.
Exactly.
Nothing there to argue about. He's 100% true. As we talked about earlier in the chat, if you look at the 2020 summer of love, they love to call it, the quote unquote mostly peaceful protests that happened, BLM, Antifa, all these different organizations got together, burned Washington, D.C., took over portions of Seattle, portions of Atlanta, portions of Portland, right? Went in, completely allowed to go in. How many people died? Dozens and dozens and dozens of people fucking died over the course of like 3 years of all these fucking riots. When January 6th happened, did anybody bring guns? No. Did they kill any cops? No. I think one person died of a heart attack.
Well, one person did get shot, but that was on the January 6th side.
Well, yeah, the lady, the January 6th lady that got shot. That's true.
Yeah, actually,
but like they didn't kill anybody.
No, they didn't.
Nobody showed up with guns. They go, oh, it's an insurrection. It's this and that. And they keep repeating January 6th over and over and over again. And I'm not defending January 6th. There's no way in hell I would have gone to that thing. I didn't. Okay. But over 100,000 people showed up and they broke into a place they shouldn't have. And they damaged a lot of property. And that was it. Like, it is nothing in compared to the left-wing riots that have been going on for years and years and years that really kicked up and became major institutional problems for society in 2020 and have been continuing ever since. And they want to throw it every time you bring something up. Well, what about January 6th? January 6th was nothing. Do you think if 100,000 people had showed up into Washington, D.C., and wanted to do some real damage, that's all they would have done?
Happened. It would have definitely happened.
If 100,000 people that actually wanted an insurrection and wanted to overthrow the government showed into Washington, D.C., you know what would have happened? There would have been an insurrection. And the several hundred cops and state police and Secret Service that were there wouldn't have been able to do a fucking thing.
Yeah, they're very lucky we show restraint at such terrible times, you know.
And again, I want to reiterate, I was not like, I'm not in for the whole fucking let's go march on the Capitol shit, whatever like that, and go in and just sit in Nancy Pelosi's desk and steal laptops and shit, and you know, and Mr. fucking Buffalo Man going in there and acting like a fucking tard. Like that was all stupid shit. I agree.
Yep.
But so it's not even close to comparing to what the left has consistently done for years when it comes to levels of fucking violence and dead bodies that have been fucking left behind after they marched through someplace and fucking protest. And every goddamn time they want to talk, well, what about January 6th? Oh, what about Charlottesville? Yeah, the bunch of fucking racist. And yes, one girl did die. She got run over by a fucking car. That was awful.
No, one girl was shot.
What? That Charlottesville?
No, sorry.
No. Well, I'm talking Charlottesville. Yeah, there was one girl shot, but it wasn't like the January 6th protesters shot her. She was shot by Secret Service.
Yeah.
Like so they bring up the incidents that are few and far between and are nowhere near to the level of what the left does consistently to try to scare people. And look, I'm not down for any of it. Fuck all of it. Charlottesville was a fucking shit show. January 6th was a fucking shit show, but they still don't even come close to comparing to what the left has done over and over and over again for years now.
Ooh. Apparently Biden's addressing the nation in 4 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay. And all right, again. Well, it's middle of the day. He's taking his meds. He's not having that sunset syndrome right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, if somebody's got a link.
You think he's okay? That's weird that he's going to go live at 1:30 on a Sunday afternoon. You think he's dropping out?
No, I think he's going to introduce
somebody give me the link. If somebody out there has a link, let me search for it. Somebody out there has a link. We'll
Adam Jimenez has a link. He's at Blue Wrench Ears.
Okay.
So I have a question with
wants to see it.
As you said, you know, a lot of shit's happened on the left that fails in comparison of anything the right may have done. Do we see more shit happening like with Mr. Jesse Mullet? You know, this is MAGA country. Or do you think we'll see more of that happening, false flag type stuff? Where
I mean, that stuff has been pretty consistent, and I don't think it's going anywhere. So I don't know if it'll necessarily become more so, per se. Possibly. But
I figured they would be like, oh, the right's retaliating after, you know, Trump's attempted assassination, and look at all this happening.
Yeah, I agree with Mike White. He's going to introduce the assault weapons ban, an executive order.
God.
We'll see. It's supposed to start right now. It says at 12:30. It's supposed to be going right now. We'll sit here and
I do want to say this real quick. Don't panic buy ammo and stuff because you're gonna get a jump scare in price and stuff this week. So,
well, let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. Who knows? But we'll see. We don't know if it's got anything to do with
just remember, we all have enough ammo. We don't need to go buy the shit price ammo right now.
Now you just made me scared to think that he might.
There's
do it.
never enough ammo. What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. I don't want people to financially put themselves in a bad spot just for extra ammo. They have enough.
Shout out in the chat has an interesting question. What would have happened if the attempt had been made on the other guy? He says questions not allowed in the super chat. Well, sorry about that. If it had been, it would have just emboldened the left. Exactly what it. I mean, let's be honest. It would have been the same thing. You know, would have been the exact same thing. Look, the right is emboldened right now. Cheap creep out there says, "Hey, he said the channel name." Yeah, it's like that scene, what you call it, the Family Guy episode where Peter goes into the movie theater and he says the fucking He said they say the name of the movie in the movie. He said the name of the movie.
Yeah. We are not the Walking Dead.
We are not the Walking Dead.
We are the Walking Dead. I hated that when Daryl said,
"How dare you act like that? This is the House of the Dragon."
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
oh man, Ghost Shadow. If that happens, that would be really bad.
What?
Just a full wide gun ban. He could never pull that off.
I won't. Actually,
Joe's already 2 minutes late, so we'll see what happens here. But
refresh it. Do you have to refresh it?
No, you should just go live whenever.
Duke, was I the first one who let you know?
Let me see. I don't
let you know what.
I think you may have been
that they stopped selling the
Dino hit me up. I seen it when I was out smoking meat. So I was like, "Oh, Dino's your boy," and I was like, "Oh no, Duke doesn't have social media." I had to text you really quick.
No, you definitely. No, I got it back, but that is funny. I think you were the first one that texted me.
I got you, Matt. How could you not? You know, Duke's in the Stone Age.
Wait, not what? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, letting me know about Trump yesterday,
dude. We were talking about it in the chat. You are a part of.
I know,
like right when it happened, and you never responded. Me in the text chat that goes to your phone, not to your social media. We were all talking about it. Me and Honda and Jolly and Angry and Corey.
I think it was the same time.
So I was talking about it actively as it happened, and you never responded.
Yes.
Yeah, and later on, you finally sent that Neo Matrix.
I didn't send that. That's not me. That's not me.
All right. Well, we're gonna. I don't know. Wait for this dude to fucking start talking. I guess. Let's see what this guy.
I think the powers who thought that would be a great idea to try to harm President Trump. We'd like to thank you for the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And boy, are the numbers gonna be earth-shattering. Democrats are done. You fuckers are never gonna be in power again.
I hope
your great grandchildren ain't gonna fucking be in power. Peace.
Now, I don't know about all that, but
I like that. That guy's cool as fuck. Get him on the chat.
But Jesus, let's see. What else do we have here? Clown World, this one. What is this? He's right. What is this one? Oh, this is the one where the dude's yelling at the media. So this is the media stand where they all set up their cameras and do their little interviews and stuff. So this dude's yelling at the media.
This is your fault. This is your fault. This is your fault. This is your fault.
It ain't wrong. I mean, the media's done everything to fucking make people think Trump is literally Hitler. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
He's not wrong.
Ain't it quite nice? You know, he's sitting there, you know, freedom of speech, and all of a sudden the fucking popo walks up and starts pushing him away to shut him up.
Let's see what we got here. This is after the shooting. That's nothing. What is this? I believe these are state police, Pennsylvania State Police. Got all the Escalades driving off. That's nothing. This is
just a nothing burger.
It's nothing there. Biden running late. I guess maybe he fell asleep.
It takes him a long time to walk. So
yeah,
that narcolepsy's no joke.
Let's see if Google has updated any news stories.
While Matt's looking for new news stories, Duke, I got a question for you.
Yes,
Duke.
And I'm just reiterating yes.
Oh, okay. Well, if Duke is there listening, what would have happened if he would have got shot in the dick?
That's a fair question.
I mean,
did he fall asleep? Oh, this fucking.
There probably would have been more blood, I would assume.
Duke fell asleep.
Yep, Duke's gone.
Told you, narcolepsy's no joke.
All right, let's see.
Now I need to know, Duke, do you have narcolepsy? Is this a real thing?
20-year-old. Let's see if there's any new news here on this. This one was just published here 21 minutes ago. Who is the shooter? Registered as a Republican. We already know that. Donated to Act Blue. We already know that. Crook's father told CNN he was trying to figure out what happened and would wait until he spoke to law enforcement before speaking about his son. Blocked on the area was blocked off by Secret Service and law enforcement. And then see, I read this earlier. This just goes into like his school record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, he was, you know, he received a $500 Star Award from National Math and Science. I read all this stuff earlier. This is nothing new. So they don't know anything more about him yet.
What was the deal with that lookalike, dude?
Do we want to know more, right? Like what do, just like, you know, like a person who shoots up the schools, do we actually want that stuff out there in this situation?
I think given what happened and given who it happened to, we need to know as much about this person as possible to figure out what the motives were. I think, and I'm not just talking about law enforcement. I think the people need to know this is a presidential candidate, an ex-president. People need to know why. And to know that, we have to know who this person was. This isn't just some random, you know, Walmart shooting or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Where the motives, you know what I mean? Like there was obviously some political motives here. We need to know why this person did this.
Right. You know what angers me is I see a whole bunch of the posts, you know, even some of my family included. Like one of them was, because I got some libtards. Every family does, right? They're like, I hope you guys remember, you feel this way about guns when it's not just an ear and it's a third grade classroom. I'm like,
of course, yeah.
We don't want anybody getting shot. Like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah. Exactly. You know,
real quick, Cheap Creep out in the chat says, y'all got a Discord? Yes. Link is in the
Discord. Yeah, I just posted that in the comment forum as well.
Yeah. Tactical Muffins Up and Duke Liberty also have a Discord as well.
Yeah. Come check me out on.
No, this isn't Duke Liberty's chat now, is it?
Oh, yeah.
No,
man. Ooh,
sorry.
Now
is
it? No.
Get everybody out, not just you get like, share, and sub. Get Matt to 5 million. Holy shit!
Check out all the Discords, but yes, we all me and Duke do have Discords. Muffin Top, do you have a Discord yet?
I do, sir. Would you like me to drop a link? No, it's your chat. I can't be dropping no links.
You can't drop a link. It won't let you.
Oh,
it's so sad.
Oh,
but you can go post it in Matt's Discord once, you know, like Cheap Creek joins Matt's, and then he can have a link to y'all's.
I mean, we could if I don't delete it, you know.
It's deleted.
Biden's now 9 minutes late to his own.
Well, maybe he's pooping before, so he doesn't do it on stage.
I mean, I hope he does.
Maybe up on his methamphetamine. So, which is just like the generic name for what you call it, ADD meds. Or not ADD meds. What is it? The other one, that hypes you up.
Dysfunction meds.
Yeah,
Adderall
and shit like that. Yeah.
I can see Trump memes coming out saying, "Vote for me. I lost an ear for you."
Right.
Vote for freedom.
Again, just looking at this to go back to what we were talking about earlier. I mean, how lucky is Donald Trump at this point?
Oh,
Look at this. Look at this. 150 yards. That is not a big shot for anybody who's even gone hunting a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
That's a deer in the back of the truck, guaranteed shot, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
you know, I heard that the
trees.
This is a shot all day long for me with my fucking lever action 30-30.
Yeah,
which is not a ridiculously long distance rifle. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
I've taken white-tailed deer at this distance day in, day out with a fucking lever action 30-30.
Oh, definitely.
And no issues whatsoever. So, you know,
last year's black powder, 186 yards, one shot. I dropped.
There
that
you go.
I also heard that the shooter had, you know, a 30-round mag in the AR.
Yeah, he did. Well, you seen it.
And that was, you know, one reason why he sucked, because he didn't have the stabilization because of, you know, the oversized mag.
how many people go prone? What do you want to run when you're prone on an AR? I run 20s.
Yeah,
I don't
that
run a
or
30.
10. Yeah.
Well, so they said it was an AR style rifle. We don't know
Yeah.
if it's a 15, a 300 blackout, or
I don't know what kind of weak wrist you got, but you can go prone with a 30-round mag.
You can.
Fancy.
Yeah, you
Well,
can.
you can, but for someone like
Would you
him or
rather?
them that are inexperienced shooters or
Yeah,
gun people,
I think that's
they
why he
don't
couldn't
know
get
what they're
back on
doing.
target so quickly.
Well, so the guy that got killed is to the left of
giving you a
the
hard time,
spot
love
where
I love it.
He's
Trump
right
was
here.
at,
And
right?
from what we could tell, actually, what it looked like is it looks like he was fairly close to this side,
Mhm.
right here. And it looks like he was on this downward slope on this side of it. So he was on this side of the roof, trying to take as much cover behind the ridge of the roof as possible. And he was very, very close to the edge here. And that's because the interviews that had come out said that there was a guy that said, we saw him climb up there.
Mhm.
We saw him climb up there, and we started trying to. And again, this goes back to what the hell was going on with the Secret Service. That there was a group of people trying to wave down the Secret Service and pointing to this dude on the roof for at least a few minutes before he actually started taking shots.
So he took so the first one hit Trump, or did it hit the?
It's unclear which one. Like, he fired 3 shots. If you go back and watch the video, and why not, while we're waiting for Biden to wake up, let's watch the video here, because you can hear 3 shots, and then what you hear is 4 to 5 more after that. It's unclear. Those shots all sound the same, but I'm sure at least one of them was the Secret Service sniper firing back. But you'll hear. Oh, let me turn the volume up here.
Well, want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Okay, so that's 3 shots. 1, 2, 3. Don't know which one actually hit him. More than likely, it was the first.
Right. I think that's inexperienced to shooting prone with a 30-round mag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's unclear. But then what you're going to hear is 4 to 5 shots much quicker after that. Okay, you hear that? Then 4 to 5 shots much quicker after that. And again, don't know how many or if any of those shots were all from him, or at least one was from the Secret Service agent. We don't know. Who the hell knows what happened at that point?
It all sounded like the same type
says,
of
Biden pulled the Duke. Yeah, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Duke's awake right now, baby.
Yo,
No,
baby.
he's not.
I'm right here. I'm talking to you. I'm right
So
here.
if it was the shooter was on the one on the roof, who was the guy that they drug out in handcuffs from the stage? That
was the guy that got hit by the shooter.
Yeah,
The guy that
I don't think he
actually
was in
died.
handcuffs. So I think they just drug him out.
It looked for a second. It looked like he was in handcuffs. We were talking about that yesterday. It looked like there was handcuffs on his ankle. It was a weird shot, and so I don't know how much of it was just distortion from the cam footage or what. But as I looked at it after the chat was over, if you slowed it down enough and took it frame by frame, what it was is there was some handcuffs hanging off the belt of the officer that had his legs, and it made it for a split second look like the handcuffs were on the guy's ankle. And I think it's just because the video was moving and it was cell phone footage and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it wasn't actually handcuffs on the dude. It looked like they looked like they had the dude's the ankles handcuffed. But it wasn't when I went back and looked at it later. It's just he had a pair of handcuffs hanging off his belt, and that's right where he was holding the guy's feet. Okay. And I guess it was just kind of hanging over. So, but it wasn't.
So that guy apparently jumped in front of his family and took the bullet. So that was cool.
Oh, really?
Oh, damn.
Good for him.
So we
that
know
first
that
chick that gets hit. Oh my god, dude, she just drops so hard.
We know that America's really good at censoring a lot of stuff. Has anything come out from other parts of the country that tend to report stuff that isn't reported here in the States?
Yeah.
Like, are they saying anything in other countries right now about this?
I've seen a couple of BBC interviews, and I saw what's the name of it? Is it Sky News Australia. It was Australia something, but I don't remember which news agency in Australia it was. They were just showing clips and footage of it. I haven't seen any, like, which I'm sure we're going to get today, but I haven't seen any like major in-depth analysis from any of these. But that was mostly because I was watching that stuff last night and everybody had very little information. So most of what they were showing was just this over and over again. It was just the actual shooting over and over again.
I really appreciated that once they got Trump in the motorcade, that the Secret Service agent couldn't holster her gun.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And the other one was so worried about getting her sunglasses back on. That was good. I'm glad that was the priority in those moments. Not being able to reholster your gun. Whew.
Bad holster, man.
No shit.
And adrenaline. That means they didn't train with it. Like, you should train with your holsters at home. Go do 50 push-ups and then draw and reholster. Like, adrenaline drop, you drop to your lowest level of fucking training.
So apparently Qatar came out against the assassination attempt. I don't know who Qatar is. Who's Qatar?
I would think that every country would come out against the assassination attempt, especially given that I'm sure poll numbers have just drastically changed.
Oh, God.
And every nation doesn't want to fucking be on the wrong side of the next president.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. I'm just saying, like we talked about earlier, I mean, there's no better campaign ad for Donald Trump than this.
Yeah.
Good God,
there's nothing he could have done or said that could possibly embolden his campaign and bring more people to his side than this. There's nothing he could have done, nothing he could have said, no ad you could put out, no statement on policy, no, remark, no debate performance. There's nothing else he could have done that would possibly be better for his campaign than this. I mean, he was already ahead in the polls at a point in time when at no point going back to Bush, has a Republican nominee been ahead in the polls in July?
Right.
Yeah.
Even when Trump won against Hillary Clinton, he was not ahead of her in the polls. Yeah. When Bush won, he was not ahead in the polls in July. Yeah. Trump is ahead of Biden in the polls in July, which has not happened I don't think it's happened since Reagan. And now this happens?
Yep.
Like, and on top of that, you've got dementia-riddled fucking Biden out here, fucking just people calling for him to quit and drop out. Who knows? Maybe that's what this is. I have no idea. If he would ever he's almost 20 minutes late now at this point to his own press conference.
Yeah, that's definitely not looking good to him. For Biden being this fucking late when he's supposed to be addressing the nation after what happened. So
they got a pressure hose on him right now, cleaning him up.
I doubt it would drop out. That would look so demoralizing.
I don't think he's going to drop out.
No, not at all.
No,
I don't think we're looking at a situation where he's going to publicly drop out. Not after this. No.
That'd make him look even weaker.
Yeah. Now, not to say that couldn't happen at some point later on. I have no idea, but I don't think that's what this press conference is about. But I don't know. We'll see if he ever shows up. We're sitting here all waiting.
Yeah, no shit.
The only reason the stream is going on this long, I did not intend for this to be an almost 2-hour stream at this point, but I want to see what this douchebag's going to say.
Do you have a Rumble, Matt?
What?
Do you have a Rumble?
Do I have a Rumble? I do have a Rumble. Okay. I fucking don't like Rumble, but I have one. So
I'll have to add. I'm going to go sub to you right now. Sub to everybody on multiple platforms, guys, because if this shit gets shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have out there? Let's take some comments from the chat. We'll take some comments from the chat since we're apparently killing time to wait for Biden to wake the fuck up.
No shit.
Jose in the chat says the BBC this morning when I was going home, we're talking about Americans love their Second Amendment too much for them to have guns easily. What? They love their Second Amendment too much for them to have guns easily. Those things are diametrically opposed, but it is the BBC. Old Man says, I put a link in News and Politics to the BBC interview. Okay, well, let's see what we've got there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a news. Let's see. Oh, here's the. Actually, this is something I did want to play. This is the interview with the guy that actually. Oh, Duke left and came back. This is the interview with the guy. He fell asleep for a minute. He's back, guys.
Right, we couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because we want to watch. You're sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
He just told you 3 times what happened to him.
Afterwards, or
they crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It appears that Donald Trump has been hit in the right ear after this attempted assassination at his rally in Pennsylvania today. The law enforcement officials have said that the former president was quickly pulled away by the Secret Service agents, and his campaign team now say that he's doing fine. The attack by a shooter.
So, yeah, that was the interview we were looking at yesterday. And the dude's like, we're yelling, we're pointing, we're shouting, like he's there, he's got a gun. And seemingly, I don't know. And again, to be clear, the dude even admits, man, I don't know how long it was, So to him, it could have seemed like an eternity. It could have been 30 seconds. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, and that just wasn't enough time for the Secret Service to act.
So
who knows?
We saw it. How would it played out if, say, that guy that was being interviewed, was to pull out, his, personal protective device and shoot at the sniper?
Oh, you're getting wasted.
Yeah, he's getting shot.
You're dead. I mean, the Secret Service is going to open up on you, and then afterwards, they're probably going to figure out what happened. But yeah, you're gone right off the bat.
Unfortunately, yeah. And then someone in the chat was saying, "Is that me in the video?"
That's not. That's. I mean, he doesn't look enough like a Sasquatch, but
I have a very nice beard.
Tara out there says, read my comments. Super chat is censoring. That does happen. Where's your comments, Tara? Tara, where's your comment? I don't see your comment.
Yeah, you're going to have to probably post it again there.
Yeah, post it again, Tara, because I don't see it. I think it's censoring your comment, too.
I'm not seeing it either.
Or if you're in the Discord.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can post in Discord general. If anything, how about this, guys? If anything's not letting you post comments, because YouTube's analytics may be fucking working overtime right now and censoring comments on anything related to this, which again we should all expect. If there's something it won't let you comment, post it in Discord in the general. I have that open right now, so I can see if there's if anything's going on there. So post it there if you have any issues with that.
Hey, thanks for joining.
Sorry,
man, you got a lot of new members in here. That's awesome.
I got to get out of here. Thanks for letting me on, Matt. Have a good night. I'll
Take
see you
it easy.
later. Are you doing a show tonight or what?
I wasn't planning on doing this one, but Trump got shot, so
right.
You gonna go live tonight?
We'll see. We'll see if anything new comes up. If there's anything worth talking about, yes. But
Okay,
if not,
see you guys.
All right,
Have a
later.
good
All right,
night.
dude. Take it easy, brother.
Oh,
And
yeah, you can't see that in the on YouTube right now, but
that I can't show on YouTube, unfortunately. Cheap creep, which I think he knows that. That's why he posted it in Discord. But yes, Biden is now almost 30 minutes late. We don't know if he's ever going to show up at this point. I have no idea. But yeah, for anybody wondering about the Discord, as I said before, I know people are coming and going. Anybody wondering about the Discord, the link is always in the description of all my videos and live chats. So the link to the Discord is there. Just they will see it. It says join our Discord community, whatever. It's the Guns and Geeks podcast. For anybody that's curious, for the new people here, we do this show normally on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. For the Guns and Geeks podcast, but that's when we do live shows, and then occasionally, once in a great while, I actually make a video.
What's the most you've ever had in one video, like the biggest audience?
Live chat?
Yeah.
Like 600.
Yeah. Was that with the racists?
I think that was with the racists. Yeah, we invited. Yeah. We invited some quote unquote alt-right racists on to defend their positions, and they couldn't. They just kept throwing around the N-word the whole damn time. But whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
And again, for those new people out there watching, I just want to I'm just throwing this out there, just because you guys are watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching.
Like, share, subscribe.
Well, yeah, sure. Why not? I hate saying that shit. It sounds so pandering.
I'll say it.
I know. I say it for you, brother.
Basically, for anybody curious about my political views and anything like that, if you've never watched before, I'm a libertarian who hates the fucking left and usually ends up voting right. And we'll be voting for Donald Trump this time around. And I'm a gun guy. My channel used to be mostly just about guns and prepping, and then politics got involved, and then YouTube started demonetizing my channel. And so I moved to basically just only doing live chats now. And have been doing live. How long have I been doing just live chats now? About 2-3 years. Oh, yeah. But I've been doing this. This channel's been around since 2010. So anyway, just a quick little backstory for those of you out there who have never watched this channel before. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Anyway, let's see. What do we have out there? Anything over on the Discord? What is this? Instagram. Somebody posted an Instagram. Okay, this is of the. I guess this is the guy that actually did die, the innocent just guy at the rally. We've got some video. Hopefully it doesn't get too graphic. Yeah, they're back there. And you can see the guy doing the chest compressions, the doctor that we watched that interview yesterday.
Oh, yeah. The one that was covered in blood.
Cops telling everybody to get down.
Jeez, man, that gives you goosebumps because that's fucking awful.
They also put that question, that comment that you were waiting for. There,
yeah, Tara dropped that one in. Says we all could have made that shot. It's easy. We also could have used a bolt gun. It's one shot. That's a suicide mission. No one with a brain would have used an AR. I find that fishy. Good deer rifle, one shot. Also wide delay. The SS, they saw him. Should have been instant takeout. No thought required. Trump needs his own security. He can't trust these guys. They will delay just enough to help the other guy. And again, I don't want to presume anything, but watching the video, and again, I am no expert. I've never been in law enforcement. I know nobody who's in the Secret Service. I do know how to handle a gun, and I know how to make a 150-yard shot with ease with just about any long gun on the planet. That shot I could have made. And with what's going on, what we saw with the Secret Service, it's strange. It's strange. Were they having a bad day collectively, all together, while people are yelling, there's a guy on the roof, while there's a sniper literally right there pointed in the direction of that particular building, and he waited until after the guy got, seemingly 5 shots to 8 shots off before he took him out? It all seems very weird. Again, we know nothing. I'm sure they're going to do an investigation into the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm. I have a slight theory on it.
More.
Yeah. Yes, we don't.
What's your theory?
I think that they were told that something was going to be at a certain range, and that's what they were glassing at. Because if you're glassed up looking at 500 yards, you're not going to see anything in between there. If they were told, hey, we have a suspected area over here, and they were glassing that area really hard, and then they basically kind of took their focus away from this area, because I do believe they arrested a fat guy over there in front of these doors, right? I think that guy kind of was watching for the dude shooting. I think that guy got arrested.
Yeah, and we watched the video earlier, and it's a very quick video, so it's hard to see. But it's hard to tell what happened right before that. But in the 5 to 10 seconds before the Secret Service sniper shoots and kills the guy, and you can clearly see when he does it because his gun jumps.
Yeah, right? he repositions quickly. He wasn't looking that way.
He's like, I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what he's looking at. Who knows what was being put in over the radio saying, look here, look here, look here. Who knows what's going on?
Right.
Second Amendment wasn't a suggestion. Says, haven't been to NeverEnuffAmmo chat in a while, but it's good to hear that sweet sound again. You're welcome. Should I make it sexy and echoey?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't quit.
How you guys doing?
You know what? I'm surprised you don't have the porn.
That was uncalled for. This is a serious moment in history, and President Biden is 34 minutes late to his own press conference.
So you know how I was asking where's the drones at and stuff? They have a drone program for the Secret Service. It was implemented in 2020.
Really?
Yep.
I would assume they sit higher than camera angle.
Well, I mean, look, the FBI busts out drones for the freaking Kenosha riots.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
They had that shit hidden for how long?
6 to 8 months before we finally saw that footage. Oh no, it was longer than that, wasn't it? It wasn't until the trial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. L762 says, been around since the double digits and still enjoy the progression of your channel. I appreciate that.
I want to drop something. Matt, you got me prepping, buddy. I appreciate you.
You should prep, especially after this shit. Have you seen that meme that's got, I'll let you speak in a minute, but have you seen that meme that is Beavis and Butthead all decked out in gear? And it's like all the American people watching the recent events, and it's just Beavis and Butthead sitting on the couch with nods and fucking their vests on and guns. They're like, yeah, that's everybody right now. Like, holy shit. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Look, an assassination attempt hasn't happened since Reagan, which we predetermined was 1981. That is the last time any president was that close to an assassination attempt of what we have today. So it's been 43 years now at this point. Those of us who were around back then, I mean, I was only 4 years old, so I don't remember it, but I was technically alive at that time. But
hey, what's going on?
But let's see. Are you ever? I'm going to keep refreshing this page, hoping that he comes out with his whatever. But I
mean, he's out on mine. You got to hit the play button, Matt. That's why it's not refreshing.
Oh, you motherfucker! It's supposed to auto start. It's 25 seconds of video. What are you talking about?
No, like he's live right now.
I'll get a different link.
Show me the fucking link. I'm fucking refreshing the page and nothing's happening. There we go. Okay, he's walking out. There we go. All right, let's listen to Sleepy Joe.
Yep. Good afternoon.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Last night, I spoke with Donald Trump. I'm sincerely grateful that he's doing well and recovering. And we had a short but good conversation. Jill and I are keeping him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victim who was killed. He was a father. He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired. And he lost his life. God love him. We're also praying for the full recovery of those who were injured. And we're grateful to the Secret Service agents and other law enforcement agencies and individuals who risked their lives literally for our nation. As I said last night, there is no place in America for this kind of violence or any violence for that matter. An assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation, everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen. Unity is the most elusive goal of all, but nothing is important than that right now, unity. We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change, but we're going to not lose sight, in fact, who we are as Americans. Look, Vice President Harris and I were just briefed in the Situation Room by my Homeland Security team, including the Director of the FBI, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Attorney General, the Director of the Secret Service, my Homeland Security Advisor, the National Security Advisor, and we're going to continue to be briefed. The FBI is leading this investigation, which is still in its early stages.
I heard that too, Taco.
We don't yet have any information about the motive of the shooter. We know who he is. I urge everyone, please, don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I'm instructed that this investigation be thorough and swift, and the investigators will have every resource they need to get this done. Look, as this investigation continues, here's what we're going to do. First, Mr. Trump, as a former president and nominee of the Republican Party, already receives a heightened level of security. And I've been consistent in my direction of the Secret Service to provide him with every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure his continued safety. Second, I've directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security measures for the Republican National Convention, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. And third,
what
happened?
It just cut off. CBS just cut out. What the hell? Oh, come on, man. Well, look, there was nothing substantial to what he was saying, but
except for homeless security.
Homeless security.
Yeah, like the whole thing is done.
Homeless. Let's see if there's anything else here.
No, it's done.
It's done. They just cut it off right there at the end. Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Finally found a fresh food.
No, we don't need to hear no commercials. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's done. It's gone. The feed broke.
Wow, they cut him off mid-sentence.
Well,
what was the third thing he was going to say?
Oh, no, they cut him off. Okay, he made it a little bit further.
Mr. Trump, as a former president and nominee of the Republican Party, already receives a heightened level of security. And I've been consistent in my direction of the Secret Service to provide him with every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure his continued safety. Second, I've directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security measures for the Republican National Convention, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. And third, I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened. And we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well. And finally, I'll be speaking more about this tonight at greater length from the Oval Office. We must unite as one nation. We must unite as one nation to demonstrate who we are. And so may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, when you spoke to President Trump.
All right, I mean, he's walking off.
Yeah,
that's it. So this was a nothing burger speech that we just waited 45 minutes for. God,
at least he didn't, start spouting gun control or some shit,
Yeah.
I put what was the over under for it being less than 2 minutes? I probably should have went with the under.
Yeah,
right.
Just it was an enormous waste of time. But hey, look, guys, we've already gone like 2 hours and 15 minutes. This was much longer than I thought we would go. We've gone through all the updates. So for those, we'll give a quick breakdown of everything that we know. We know the God damn it, I can't speak all of a sudden. We know the shooter's name was Thomas Matthew Crooks. We know that he had donated to left-wing campaigns when he was 17. We know when he was 18 and he registered to vote, he registered as a Republican. We know he was 20 years old at this point. We know that one person died in the crowd, though we knew that yesterday. We don't know much about the guy that actually did the shooting. And so right now, everything is just up for speculation. I mean, he's donating to left-wing causes, but registered as a Republican. Like, who knows what's going on? We know Donald Trump appears to be okay at this moment. Suffered minor injuries. Incredibly lucky because as we saw, 150-yard shot. Any one of us in here could have made that all day, every day with just about any long gun that's possibly imaginable. So Trump was really lucky that this dude was either not a good shot or nervous or had I don't know what. I don't even know how to explain it, but Trump was lucky. And we now have, honestly, what is the greatest boost to a campaign I have seen in my lifetime, to be honest. I mean, there is nothing Donald Trump could have done or said in the next 4 months that better bodes for his chances of becoming president again than what happened yesterday. So, I mean, that's basically what we know at this point. I'm sure we will know more later as, the day goes on. I am sure, I am 100% positive that within the next 24 hours, Trump will be coming out to make a speech of some kind. Whether that be today or tomorrow, I don't know. If any more relevant information comes out or anything worth talking about comes out, I will hop on and do another one of these live chats. If that's in an hour, 6 hours, tomorrow at some point, if I'm not at work, we'll do this again. Obviously, we will have the chat tomorrow night. The podcast will be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, for those that want to come by and check that out. We do a podcast every Monday night for all those new people watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch. If you want to subscribe and watch more of this stuff, we will. But we'll definitely be talking about this more tomorrow night on the regular podcast. But if anything comes up before then, I will go live again, and we will we'll talk about it more in the meantime. But as of right now, I think that's it. We've already gone for 2 hours and 15 minutes, so it is time to go ahead and cut this one short. We will see you guys next time. As always, ladies and gentlemen, deuces, yo, shout out, pee and fridge, going to know the thing, shipping them under the pressure, Batacath care. Prack the troops. Let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden. And guess what? We finally beat Medicare.
Stay safe and always carry.
All right.
Stay vigilant.
See you guys later.
See ya.